subject of history and primary sources. We're going to focus on the history program at this point, and specifically oral history. Used to tell students that their family history was more than just their family tree, and I would point out that things like the old photographs, artifacts that had been passed on in their family, and also oral history. So you sometimes don't think of talking to older folks when they're alive and recording that information, but that can be a very important part of the family history for everyone. So it's a total package rather than just a genealogical sort of approach. In the history program, the primary sources approach can focus on oral history, and what can be done is that you can ask them to set up an interview with a grandparent or an older neighbor or friend, and practice asking them questions and trying to learn about the way life was in the old days. In terms of a family member, it's a great opportunity to learn more about their own family history. So it offers the students an opportunity to do a number of things. Set up the whole appointment, put questions together, get the equipment ready to record, research a person's background, write a transcript, which I asked them to do after, and do a written evaluation of what was learned as a result of the interview. So it has brought terrific results, and although students in the beginning might be a little nervous about this, I think they can be shown beforehand samples of other interviews that were done. Questions can be set up in terms of approach. Sometimes a basic chronological approach is a logical way of approaching it, and having a set of questions, key questions, would be very helpful, but focus too on the fact that the follow-up questions are equally important, and so it should become a conversation. And the follow-up, what I learned, a written statement of what they did get out of the interview was extremely important, and they would come up with things like, I didn't know that's how Grandma and Grandpa met. And so these people were pretty impressed with the results that happened, and the impact was fantastic. I know a few years later, after giving out this assignment in my own case, I had a phone call from a student from quite a distance away, and 10 years after he graduated, and he said that his grandmother had passed away, and he was very happy that he had been asked to do the oral history assignment with his grandmother, and that's one thing that he treasured most of all. So I think that this is a proof of the statement I said in a previous video, that this particular kind of project grips students like nothing had ever done before. I think also to, in my own case, bring in my personal family history in this case. I think students appreciate that, and I tell them a little bit about my background and how I researched it and what information I found and where I found it, and come up with some significant family artifacts, including a painting done by my grandfather, including a glass window out of a door that my great-grandfather had started when he started a store in 1884. And the bell that hung over that. All of those items I have retrieved over a period of time, and so might inspire students to do a treasure hunt in their own family for some of their artifacts, but at least it makes them aware of the fact that they should be thinking about what's there and how to keep it and how to preserve it, and ask a lot of questions around the family to make sure that that happens. So in any subject area, history was the example I used here. This can be done with interviewing people. related to some of the things that you're discussing in your courses. So give it a shot, and I think you'll find that it pays off great dividends. In the next video, we're going to focus still on the history area, and we'll be looking at old photos.